I'm Glenn Garner from Deadline, and I'm here with I Want Your Sex co-writer and director Gregg Araki, as well as stars Cooper Hoffman, Mason Gooding, and Chase Sui Wonders. Hi, how's it going, everybody?
What's happening?
We're doing great.
We're doing great.
Better now that we're with you.
Aw.
You kidding?
Well, I loved the movie last night. It was a very fun kind of old-fashioned, not old-fashioned, but
Old-fashioned.
and the way
Like,
that it embraces sex.
Very
a
conventional, very no.
Old-fashioned for a sex romp is what
Hell
I mean.
yeah.
It's not like
Good old school sex romp.
yeah, that's what I meant. Old school, yeah. What was it like for you? You know, kind of bridging that divide between Gen X and Gen Z when it comes to these differences in sex.
That actually became, in the process of making the movie, I think we were talking about it last night. This movie started out 10, 12 years ago as a completely different animal. And through the years has been sort of morphing, evolving, getting developed. And one of the main things that happened was I read this article which Erica Tracy talks about in the movie, like Gen Z is not having sex anymore. They don't have relationships. They don't have boyfriends, girlfriends, nothing. They're just like sitting in their rooms texting each other, And for me, as an artist and also just as a person, like sex and sexuality has been like a central part of my life and a central part of my evolution as a person. And the thought of this generation, like not engaging in that, was really sort of, it just became the theme of the movie, sort of. And in the scene where Cooper's character and Olivia's character are sitting on a couch just like this, and they sort of like she's sort of the Gen X and he's the Gen Z, and they're like, what the fuck is going on with your generation? That was very much like she's kind of a mouthpiece for me, going, kids, come on. It's like, this is the prime of your life. Now's the time. And, Cooper last night was living up to the dream.
That's crazy.
So it was literally like, there was this idea that, when you're young, you're so in you're a bubble, and you don't see, I know when I was in my 20s, I was so stupid and like fucked up, but you have to that's the time for fun, experimentation, and making fucking mistakes, and that's, again, like I said, kind of became the theme of the movie.
That's awesome. And I'm curious for all of you, what was it like working, with a director like Gregg, who, has such a, very specific style, but also getting to make this indie of this scale in Los Angeles, which is kind of not happening a lot these days.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
No, that's so real though.
Yeah.
That's so real.
well, you mentioned like shooting in Los Angeles, and it was actually very nice to be able to work with people in a city that is like made to make films. And I feel like nowadays that's so hard to do, that the amount of energy that Gregg facilitates, both in his creative prowess as well as like his energy on set, just being so all-encompassing and collaborative, felt like everyone was actually excited to be there. The fact that they were excited to be there filming so many sex scenes is something I found incredibly fascinating.
You were
But-
really excited.
Really
for
stoked,
the
yeah.
sex scenes.
But generally, Gregg has such like a concept not only of style but also a substantive character work that, like, outside of the dialogue and the way a character might look, the spaces they inhabit are always indicative of their mindsets and identity, that makes it very easy to kind of trust not only his vision but the environment that you find yourself in. So ultimately made my job very easy. I don't want to speak for everyone, but
Yeah.
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 hell
I
yeah,
think-
brother.
I think
Yeah.
something that hit me last night was that you talked about old fashioned, but I think Gregg has so many cool references that he has pulled and that you can see throughout all his work. And it does feel like, feels like a classic rom-com. And I feel like in the industry, there's like, bring back the rom-com. But yesterday I was like, this feels like the classic rom-com. There is like the comedy and tragedy of it, and it played so funny. And then at the end of the day, you're like, I hope he gets the girl. And it's like that's how, yes,
For better and for worse.
yeah.
You're reading.
No, it does. I mean, obviously.
I want your sex, you know?
Yeah, just one and the same.
One and the same, dude.
No, it has that same
And
kernel.
Erica Tracy is, you
Yeah.
know, whatever.
Yeah.
Julia Roberts.
Exactly.
One the same thing.
No, like the 9.5 weeks version of the classic rom-com.
Nicholas Sparks could never.
Yeah,
There's
and there's a reference to 9.5 weeks at the beginning.
There's the poster right there. 9.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
did love that time jump back to 9.5 weeks ago. That was
That got a
fun.
big laugh
Yeah.
in the theater.
That was literally when I because that's so early in the movie. It's like 30 seconds in the movie. I was like, okay, this is gonna be a good screening.
Exactly. Yeah.
They got it.
The tuning fork.
But now I do want to talk about the sex. And Cooper, you are put in a lot of compromising positions. So like,
Sex positions.
Sex positions.
what was it like working with Olivia and Greg, but also the intimacy coordinator and just
Yehuda.
Yehuda's
Shout out to Yehuda.
the man.
He's the man. It was awesome. I mean, like, I don't know. They were so safe and like so comfy to be around. And like, I think I actually said this last night. But it is kind of, someone asked like the importance of like having an intimacy coordinator on set, and it's like I think it like gives you the freedom to watch a movie that has this stuff in it and go like, oh yeah, they were taken care of, and like Greg and Olivia couldn't have been more like comforting to be around, and like you kind of like walked onto a set that was very just like everyone was kind of putting their guard down a little bit, like everyone was kind of just like, I don't know, fucking going for it. Like I in a really aggressive way. So if you didn't meet them, you were lagging behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one was like zeroed out.
Yeah.
Cooper,
No one's like, I don't know if I want to. Everyone's like, let's go.
Cooper's in like skimpy lingerie. Olivia's wearing floss. And like, we're all, yeah.
And no one batted an eye.
No,
We'd
we're
be
all
having
like, we're all like,
normal
what's up?
ass conversations. Like, Olivia, what are you getting for dinner tonight?
Yeah,
She's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Probably
Like,
get
all right.
crafty later.
Yeah,
You're
right. Yeah.
wearing a
I might get a
bustier.
Rice Krispie treat. You want anything, Chase?
Yeah.
In my pink underwear. Oh my god.
and one thing, the threesome or attempted threesome scene was hilarious.
It was a threesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of
We got there.
short
Yeah.
circuit.
Yeah.
Well, I also wanted to ask you, Chase, like, how did you keep a straight face through that? Because, like, at one point he's like ripping off your shirt, like, look at her tits, they're great. And then, like, you
I
have
think
a
it felt much more serious on the day than it
No,
actually
it
is.
felt really sad.
Yeah, it felt
like,
really sad.
It felt like tragic. Well, also that was that our second day filming or
Literally, we were filming
Yeah.
because we filmed the mansion first because of the
Oh.
production schedule. That was, and the budget and the schedule were very tight. So we filmed the mansion first. So that's where all the fucking action happens. Day one, well, you had crazy sex scenes on the couch, and day two was a three-way.
It was
wow.
it was like right into the deep end.
Not
So
only
they
did
just, like,
Chase,
threw the dildo on your chest and like.
but by the way, hold on. Not only did Chase not break, this motherfucker cried. like cried with a dildo on her chest. Are you out of your mind?
Crying while the dildo is in my periphery, just being like.
It's actually incredible.
My favorite is the outtakes when you couldn't get the dildo right. It kept
Right.
falling
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I can't get sorry. I can't get the
Were
dildo
all the
off.
outtakes just you?
What at the end?
And the
At the end
blooper
credit?
reel?
No, the blooper reel was. I love the blooper
Was
reel.
it a
By the
mixed
way, I
bag?
saw it for the first time. It was a mixed bag.
All right,
It was so
copy.
funny.
And Mason, which by the way, I feel like you have the most dialogue about sex, but I don't think you have a sex scene.
Isn't that funny? He's
Yeah.
very salacious, but doesn't actually engage.
It's all up to the imagination.
No, true. Which actually, my experience, I feel, because I love hearing stories of their filming process and how it's so different from mine that I just would say off the wall shit and then put on my sweater and go home. But if I meant not to derail, but watching those scenes from an audience perspective, which is what I had, in addition to just enjoying the liberation of sex on screen and the way that I feel like we kind of lost that art in, engaging with your ability to tap into a level of understanding for a price paid to vulnerability is something I feel like a lot of times can be played in a way that's inauthentic to how that experience ought to be in life. And then handled similarly with you playing that level of a discernment about what your friend is being put through and like how to
Yeah, yeah,
reconcile
yeah.
with
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
whether it comes out as rage.
Yeah, yeah,
As
yeah.
an audience member, like you're talking about with a rom-com, because I am trying to tie this back to what you're saying.
No, it's
'cause I
good.
do
That's
agree,
good. That's good.
Is funny that the movie has these set pieces of dildos on chests and sex
yeah.
galore, but the heartfelt nature of what it means to try your best to connect with another person and whether or not you succeed in that,
Yeah.
ultimately for the runtime of the movie, to me feels indicative of like classic rom-com movies. The sentiment and the heart and the genuine nature is there. It's just told in a sardonic package.
Yeah.
That
really
yeah,
fucked up way.
We took a
fine, funny.
long route
Yeah.
to get there.
That's right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
A, B, and C are still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also love that Mason's character. To me, I know, in the concept of the movie is like he's like the openly queer one. He's the gay one. I mean, he's not even queer. He's fucking gay. I'm not fucking queer or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just, this movie was made actually in the Biden years, kind of. Really, it was. We finished shooting in 2024, and so there was a little bit more, obviously, optimism at that time, and I really like the idea that the gay character, he's the only one that's kind of got his shit figured out. You know what I mean? Like he's at ease in his sexuality and with his body. You know what I mean? He's just so like has it figured out. Whereas all the other characters, even Erica she has it figured out, but she's quite.
the fuck she's doing.
She's been in therapy since she was 6, so she's got a lot of baggage and a lot of shit going on. So I like that the gay character was just like, whatever. It's like about his sexuality and was so free and open with his body. That to me was really important to that character.
And I mean, getting to portray any level of self-assuredness in juxtaposition to how I actually live my life is incredibly liberating. That's my therapy.
Well, you pulled it off, and I think the gays are going to be thirsting for your character. So
That's what I'm here for.
Dude,
that's what I do it
huge.
for. That's it.
That's a
Somebody
big
was
win.
commenting on that last night.
Good. What were they saying?
They were just talking about they were so excited to see Mason as a horny gay dude.
Ah,
It's
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's
Me
their,
too.
It's
Yeah.
their dream.
well, that's all I have time for. But I just want to say thank you
No.
so
Thank you
much.
so
This
much.
was seriously my highlight of the festival. So.
Oh,
Thanks,
dude.
Glenn. That's awesome.
It's only Saturday, but